And we welcome you in to Naples, Florida, North Collier Regional Park number 3, as NJCU softball is on the air here on Gothic Vision, a game that was delayed by the previous game on this field between Curry and Pitt Bradford, and it's the Curry Colonels against the NJCU Gothic Knights as we bring you the final 4 games of the 2019 softball trip. Hannah Gavin is at the plate. Game just started as we just were handed the lineup as Gavin swings through that one. These spring trips are tricky with softball because you don't know who the home team is until right before the game. They do a coin flip to determine that. And obviously it's hard to prepare. But we have 3 cameras for you today, and we're going to bring you 4 softball games over the next 2 days live from Naples. Hannah Gavin is your leadoff batter, followed by Dulce Almonte. Emma Herrick will be the first baseman. We'll give you the rest of the lineup in a second as Hannah Gavin slaps that one through the left side on a 2-2 pitch. And that gives the Gothic Knights the leadoff batter aboard. So a runner on first base, Dulce Almonte, sophomore third baseman in this game. She'll play second in game 2, is at the plate. Give you the full lineup here as we can, and then in between innings we'll have a positional breakdown for you. Laura Ford, the NJAC Rookie Hitter of the Week, will be the cleanup hitter, hitting in the number 4 spot, playing center field. Christina Mezzi pitches and bats 5th. Maria Montez, the DP, she hits 6th. Marasia Bacon, basketball star, at second, batting number 7, Ariana Screamo catching and batting 8th. Georgina Rayo, the left fielder, batting 9th. And Amber O'Donnell will be the flex player in right field as Hannah Gavin steals second base. Ground ball towards the shortstop. And the throw by Kiana Lloyd is in time. For Curry, they are 3-4 in the year. They lost a 3-0 decision against Pitt Bradford in their first game today. Allie Mae pitches. She throws to Michaela Collerin. First baseman Alexi Buckner. The second baseman Taylor Newcomb. The shortstop Kiana Lloyd. The third baseman is Jocelyn Diamond. In the outfield, left to right, Talia Fort. Center fielder Leanna Duante, and the right fielder is Jordan Perzan. And a called strike here with 1 out, and Hannah Gavin in scoring position, closing in on, I think that's her 90th career hit right there. 10 more away from joining the 100 hit club, which she most likely would do sometime in the next couple weeks. I mean, unless she just goes off in the next 4 games down here in Naples. The final 4 games will all be played at this complex. Pass off the plate, throw back to second, and Gavin is in standing. Your umpire today about calling balls and strikes is Dave Kruger, and Dougie Hamlin is the field ump. Hamlin is pointing at something. I'm not sure what's going on here. Might be the parents down the right field line. Might not be able to be there. There you see the NJCU dugout on the third base side. Not sure what the holdup is here, as we'll be back to game action in just a moment. The pitch is inside. 3 balls, 1 strike to count here to Emma Herrick. She's a freshman first baseman for the Knights out of Sayreville, New Jersey, and Sayreville War Memorial High School. Popped in the air, right field, and coming over and making the catch is the right fielder Person, and that is out number 2. Gavin remains at second base. It'll bring up Christina Mezzi, the Gothic Knight pitcher. Correction, Laura Ford, the center fielder. Got ahead of myself there. So excited to see Christina Mezzi bat for the first time this year. Laura Ford is the NJAC Rookie Player of the Week. 2-sport athlete, 2-sport starter for the Knights. Starting back, played on the left side most of the year in the back for the women's soccer team in the fall. And starting in center field probably every day for the softball team. Ground ball towards the shortstop. Throw is in the dirt, and Ford is able to beat it out on the throwing arrow by the shortstop. Everybody is safe. So an E6 on that one. Gavin goes to third. There you see Laura Ford at first base. Top of the first inning here in Naples, Florida. Ira Thor with you on Gothic Vision, bringing you game 9, 10 today, and then tomorrow 11 and 12 of this year's spring trip. Tomorrow, it'll be RIT and Knox to close it out. Second game today will be NJCU against Nazareth. The 1-0 fouled off back towards the backstop. You hear that thud off of the wood that's all the way around the backstop here. There's basically treated wood that goes all the way around from dugout to dugout. Ball and 2 strikes here to Ford. And the air, shallow center, coming over on the run, making the catch is the center fielder, Leanna Duante, and that will do it here for the Gothic Knights in the top of inning number 1. Gavin stranded at third base after a leadoff single, the 90th of her career, and NJC leads the runners on the corners. Cannot strike here in the first. Bottom of the first coming up. Let's take a look at the lineup here for NJCU as we bring it up on the screen. There you see NJCU's lineup again. The batting orders on the left. In the field, Christina Mezzi on the circle, or in the circle. She will throw to Ariana Scrimo. Emma Herrick, she's at first base. Second baseman is Marasia Bacon. We'll tell you more about why that's interesting in a moment. Hannah Gavin, the shortstop. Dulce Almonte is your third baseman. Left fielder will be Georgina Rayo, making her first softball appearance this year after playing volleyball for the Gothic Knights for the last 3 years, trying softball out before she graduates this May. Laura Ford is your center fielder. And Amber O'Donnell, also a senior, also a women's volleyball player. She's a flex player. She is in right. Meanwhile, for the Colonels, they are 3-4 on the year. Jocelyn Diamond leads off at third base. Leanna Duante, the center fielder, bats second. Michaela Cullerton's the catcher, hitting third, and Jordan Prezan, the right fielder, in the cleanup spot. Kiana Lloyd's the shortstop, hitting fifth. Lexi Buckner at first base, bats sixth. Caroline Johnson, the DP, hits seventh. Taylor Newcomb, the second baseman, hits eighth. And Allie May, the pitcher, will bat ninth. The left fielder, Talia Fort, will be the flex player. There's the Emma Herrick at first base for NJCU. Curry was nice enough on a neutral field here to allow us to run some cables through the front of their dugout. We appreciate their assistance. Curry is members of the Commonwealth Coast Conference. They are located in Springfield, Massachusetts. Years ago when NJCU sponsored football, we actually would go up there on a trip and play the Colonels. About a 4-hour ride from Jersey City. Members of the Commonwealth Coast Conference. The final baseball team NJCU played yesterday was also a member of the Commonwealth Coast Conference. As the first pitch from Christina Mezzi to Jocelyn Diamond is inside corner, strike one. NJCU's baseball team, after losing the first 3 games of their trip Saturday, Sunday, and the first game on Monday of this week. That is ball and 1 strike. Nicely balanced back. They won their final 3 games, including a win yesterday, 6-3 over Gordon College. And then Gordon came back in the second game of their doubleheader yesterday and upset Montclair State out of the NJAC. That's a called strike. 1 strikes. We say hello to former NJCU All-Conference performer Brittany Polikis, watching this game in Central Jersey before she heads to her high school practice where she coaches later today. I'm sure her dad, John, will probably be watching as well. If you're watching the game, let us know. We'll say hello to you here on Gothic Vision. Popped in the air. Ariana Scrimo loses the mask, and it falls in for a foul ball. Gothic Knights unable to put it away. So remain 2-2. Jim Turvey, my assistant, is on the stats. You can follow the live stats for today's game on NJCUGothicKnights.com. Strike 3 looking on the inside corner as Mezzi strikes out Diamond for the first out. So 1 away, it'll bring up the center fielder, Liana Duante. Duante is a freshman out of Taunton, Massachusetts. One and one is the count here. Correction, 2 balls. 2 balls on that one. First pitch was quiet. Just assumed it was a strike. That's what happens when you assume. Well, that one certainly is a strike. 2-1. Good pitch by Mezzi. There you see the NJCU coaching staff. Ashley Martinez, her first year as the head coach of the Gothic Knights. She has lost her voice. She came over to give me a big hug in the hotel when I arrived after 5 days with the baseball team. And I couldn't understand her because her voice is literally gone. I guess that's what happens when you play a third of your schedule down here in Florida. You don't have enough time for your voice to recover. Well, 1-out walk will put Duante on base to bring up the catcher, number 15, Michaela Collerin. She's a 5'8" junior out of East Bridgewater, Massachusetts. First pitch by Mezzi is right down the middle for strike 1. Gothic Knights are 1-7 on the year. They won their first game. Popped in the air, left field. Coming in and making the catch is the libero of the team, Georgina Rayo, for out number 2. And it's really cool. The first year that Rayo and Bacon and Amber O'Donnell are playing softball, their bench, dugout, gets really excited anytime they do something well. All are just great athletes who wanted to play softball and fill the void for NJCU, as Ashley Martinez didn't get a full recruiting cycle this year, starting obviously in the summer, and by the time the summer rolls around, majority of the recruiting for the year is already done. So next year will be Coach Martinez's first full recruiting class. That's in the air, down the left field line. Rayo on the run. It's going to land foul. I wonder if they realize they're on camera. There's the runner at first. Ground ball to Gavin. Throw is in time for the third out of the inning as NJCU, despite a one-out walk, is able to retire the three other batters for the Colonels here in the bottom of inning number 1. NJCU Curry, scoreless. We'll head to inning number 2 on Gothic Vision. And we are back here for inning number 2. And leading off for the Knights will be Maria Montez. And she lines this one towards the Curry dugout. Maria Montez, another freshman in the squad, out of Jersey City's Ferris High School, secondary education major. Shows bunt. That one's fouled back. It'll be Montez, Bacon, and Screamo due up for the Knights, number 6, 7, and 8 hitters. Low, ball and 2 strikes. Actually, correction, 2 balls and 2 strikes. The 2-2 swung on, missed. Ball was dropped, so they throw down to first to complete the 2-3 putout as Colleran throws to the first baseman, Buckner. So 1 away, and it's time for Bacon. As Marasia Bacon, who yesterday was named to the D3Hoops.com All-Region team. Second team All-Region, first team All-NJAC performer on the basketball team. She is just a fantastic athlete. And she's actually been a big help to this program so far. They get very excited every time Bacon shows off her athleticism. Bacon fouls this one off. Her basketball career is over, so she doesn't have to worry about, any injuries that would prevent her from playing basketball. You're not on camera, Gina Carbonero, as much as you want to be. And that's lined off of the glove of a leaping second baseman, and that is a base hit for Marasia Bacon. And the Gothic Knight dugout is thrilled. For Marisha Bacon, that is her first career base hit. So with one on, here is Ariana Scrimo wearing her old number. The Gothic Knights are using their old uniforms on this trip, so the numbers you see them wearing here, they will not wear when we get back to New Jersey. Ground ball, foul to the left of third base. Strike three looking as Scrimo goes down on strikes. 2 away. I'll bring up Georgina Rayo. Georgina Rayo out of McNair Academic in Jersey City. 3-year performer on the volleyball team, took 1 year off. Played freshman year, took her sophomore year off, and then played her junior and senior seasons on the court for the Gothic Knights for head coach Bobby Cole. Got a 3.7 GPA. Good eye by Rayo. She will graduate in 4 years. Business management major with a minor in marketing. The 1-2, and that's fouled back towards us. Ball and 2 strikes. May deals off the plate, 2-2. May deals. Ground ball towards shortstop. And the shortstop, Lloyd, flips it to the second baseman, Newcomb, to retire Bacon on the force, and the inning comes to a close as the Gothic Knights get their second hit, the first career hit for a basketball star, Marisha Bacon. We head to the bottom of the second inning, scoreless here in Naples.
I just wanted to get good grades and to do well, but it also made me realize that I have a lot of career goals.
You're there to get a full college experience, not only participate in your sport, but participate in things outside of that, and it's all about growing as a person.
My coaches have helped me with figuring out who I really am. Their lives are dedicated for us to succeed.
I just wanted to get good grades and to do well, but it also made me realize that I have a lot of career goals.
You're there to get a full college experience, not only participate in your sport, but participate in things outside of that, and it's all about growing as a person.
My coaches have helped me with figuring out who I really am. Their lives are dedicated for us to succeed.
I just wanted to get good grades and to do well, but it also made me realize that I have a lot of career goals.
You're there to get a full college experience, not only participate in your sport.
We are back here for the bottom of inning number 2, only the second time on this trip that NJCU is the visiting team. You're got to call heads or tails to determine who's the home team and who's the away team. It makes it a little challenging for us because, we don't know who's going to be the home team until literally seconds before. So entering the stats in the computer and the graphics on the scoreboard, can't really prepare. You're basically moving on the fly, but hey, keeps you on your toes. That and the 84-degree temperature down here reminds you you're alive. There'll be a ball here and 2 strikes as leading off is Kiana Lloyd, the shortstop. Mezzi just high to Lloyd. She is a sophomore out of Worcester, Mass. She's listed as a shortstop, second baseman, and third baseman on the roster, meaning she plays everywhere in the infield except first. In the dirt, it'll be 3 and 2. Lloyd hitting .348 on the season, 7 games in. Mezzi deals. Hit in the air to center field. Laura Ford back steps a little bit. And after taking 3 steps back, reaches out and makes the catch on the fly out for out number 1. So 1 away to bring up the first baseman, Lexi Buckner. Buckner is a freshman left-handed hitter, 5'7", out of Foxborough, Massachusetts. And called strike. Buckner hitting .182 thus far, 4 hits in 22 at-bats. Popped in the air towards first base. Emma Herrick on the run, makes the catch. I think she was in foul territory, so officially an FF3, and that's 2 away. Good play by Herrick. And with 2 away, it'll bring up Carolyn Johnson, the designated player. Johnson starting for the 7th time, hitting .273 so far. Been a pretty consistent lineup for the Colonels thus far this year, as 6 different players have started all 7 games. Swung on and missed. And that's strike 2. So ball and 2 strikes. Christina Mezzi, the Gothic Knight ace, the senior out of Jersey City. She and Hannah Gavin have been the heart and soul of this team the last 4 years. And that is low, 2 and 2. Mezzi, a criminal justice major out of St. Dominic Academy. Strike 3 looking as Mezzi strikes out the designated player, Carolyn Johnson. That ends the 2nd inning, and we are scoreless heading to the 3rd. As we welcome you back here for the fourth inning, let's take a look at the strikeout by Christina Mezzi. Now back to game action and top of the order. And it's Hannah Gavin who reached with a base hit, the 90th of her career. I said top of the fourth, right? But it's the top of the third because I can't count. Don't listen to me. Top of the third. As NJCU threatened twice but couldn't break through. That is a ball. I have it right here on the graphic. It's top of the third, but I can't even read. Ay, ay, ay. 2 balls and a strike. 84 degrees. It is mostly sunny skies on a beautiful day down here in Naples, Florida. And that's a ground ball foul. We are at North Collier Regional Park number 3. We'll be on the same field for game number 2, which is a huge relief because we wouldn't be able to broadcast game 2 on a different field because it takes about an hour to break down all the equipment and move it. Tomorrow we'll be on different fields. However, we have 2 hours in between games, so that should be plenty of time. Strike 3 looking as Hannah Gavin goes down on strikes for the first out here in inning number 3. And the first pitch to Dulce Amante is fouled off down the first base side. Now, I've been told there's been a change to the schedule that we may actually be moving to 9 and 11 tomorrow. And if that happens, then we may not be able to bring you game 2, the final game against Knox. And if we do, it'll be in a more simplified format. So we'll have to figure that out once we know the official final schedule. Ground ball trickling up the third base side, and it is a foul ball. That's fouled off to our right and out of play. May deals, and Almonte watches ball 1. Ground ball right back to the pitcher, May, with a flip to first, and that retires Almonte for out number 2. So 2 away for the Knights here in their visitor half of the third. And Emma Herrick, the Gothic Knight first baseman, steps in. Herrick with 5 hits on the year so far, hitting .263, .417 on base percentage though. She has walked 5 times. Doing a nice job getting on base out of the third spot in the order. And she looks at ball 1. That is a strike, 1-1. That'll be 2-1 count here after that lob was low. Herrick in the air, shallow right center field. That's going to fall in for her 6th hit of the year. Emma Herrick aboard with a 2-out base hit. So Laura Ford steps in. Gothic Knight rookie center fielder, the NJAC Rookie of the Week out of Leonia, New Jersey, and Leonia High School. Inside to Ford. She wears number 4 on the soccer field as well. Here comes head coach Ashley Martinez. I think she's going to make a change at first base, have a pinch runner. And she will. So she brings in Maya Tahita. That's not, we're in different numbers. All right, so that's actually number 12. But number 14, normally Giselle Vigil. And that is fouled back towards us. Swung on, missed, and Ford goes down on strikes on an inside changeup. And the Gothic Knights leave a runner on first. NJCU has stranded runners in each inning of this game. They're threatening, just cannot come up with a big hit thus far. We'll find out if their fortunes change in the 4th inning. But first, Colonel's time at bat. Bottom of the 3rd coming up here in Naples, Florida. Back here in Naples for the bottom of the 3rd inning. NJCU, Curry, scoreless here at North Collier Regional Park. Game number 9 of 12. This is the most games NJCU will have ever played on its spring trip. 12 of their 40 scheduled games. And that is strike 1 to Taylor Newcomb, the number 8 hitter. She is the second baseman for the Colonels. Sophomore out of Millville, Mass. Also pitches. Popped in the air. Screamo screening her eyes and makes the catch in foul territory for out number 1. So that'll bring up the pitcher, Allie May. Allison May, a sophomore, 5'7", out of West Bridgewater, Mass. Screamo is wearing KT tape on her right arm. I don't know if you can see it here on the broadcast, but she claims it is the only thing keeping her arm attached to her body, as this is fouled back towards us. We had a whole conversation about this last night. That's low. Mezzi deals. Ground ball foul. Let's take a look at that last catch in foul territory by Scrimo. Doing a good job of shielding the sun, the bright sun, out of her eyes. Ground ball, charging is Almonte, and on the run, great throw to first to Herrick. 2 outs here in the bottom of the third. So with May retired, top of the order for Jocelyn Diamond, the third baseman. She's a sophomore at Weir, New Hampshire, standing 5'4", switch hitter for the Colonels. Mezzi deals, and I think it hit her. If not, it brushed her off the plate. Did not hit her, it brushed her off the plate. So just a very inside pitch there that forced Diamond to hit the infield dirt. 2 away, Mezzi deals. Nice pitch by Mezzi. Should even account at 2 balls and 2 strikes. The 2-2 is low for 3-2 as Mezzi looks to retire the Colonels and get out of this inning unscathed. The 3-2 by Mezzi. Popped in the air, foul. Herrick gives it a look, but it's off of the roof covering the first base side dugout. And Herrick back to her bag. It remains 3 balls and 2 strikes, 2 outs here. NJCU Curry in the bottom of the third. Mezzi deals, popped in the air. Left side of the infield. Hannah Gavin very pronouncedly calls everyone off, makes the catch, and the inning comes to a close. Colonels go in order, 1-2-3 here in the third. We head to the fourth. NJCU, Curry scoreless in Naples. And we're back here for inning number 4. Christina Mezzi leads it off for the Gothic Knights. It'll be Mezzi, Montez, and Bacon as Mezzi hits that one deep but foul down the left field line. NJCU in the third base side dugout. Gothic Vision is your home for NJCU athletics all year, and we are deep now in the final furlong of the season as the baseball, softball, men's volleyball teams, outdoor track all well into their seasons. Outdoor track hasn't competed yet, but has continued to practice since the indoor season ended, and they'll have their first meet since 2010 season at the end of the month in early April. And that is high. Be 2 balls and 2 strikes here to Christina Mezzi. That is fouled away by Mezzi. Remains 2-2. Ira Thor with you here on Gothic Vision. And we are glad you're able to join us here. As Christina Mezzi, ground ball over to third, diamond, throw to first in time. And that is out number 1. So that'll bring up Maria Montez, and she fouls this one into the screen. Montez, secondary education major, one of numerous first-year players on first-year head coach Ashley Martinez's squad. And that's line towards second base, diving, knocking it down, and making the throw to first is Taylor Newcomb. And that's the second out here. Montez hit it well, but Newcomb did a good job of laying out, getting some leather on it to knock it down, regaining her composure, and then throwing on to first to complete the 4-3 putout. So with 2 away, brings up Marasia Bacon. And Bacon punches it down the right field line, and that is a fair ball. Marasia Bacon with 2 hits in the game, the first 2 of her softball career, and the Gothic Knights have a runner on. Now, we made sure to capture that replay. We'll go back later and cut out the highlight of her first career hit. Is Bacon's going to help this team this year. She is athletic. She is smart. She learns quickly. Was a tremendous basketball player. For those who don't know the basketball side of things, Marasia Bacon is the all-time leading scorer in the history of the New Jersey Athletic Conference with more than 2,150 career points. I think it was 2,160 was the number that she finished with, somewhere around there. Don't have it memorized. She is the 30th leading scorer in the history of Division III women's basketball. Ariana Scrimo, the catcher, will try to extend this inning with 2 outs. Two balls to Ariana Scrimo, who, if you watch our Instagram stories, did the promo for today's game. And NJCU with 4 hits. And that make it 5 as she slides it under the diving Newcomb. Bacon goes first to third, and the Gothic Knights, with 2 outs, have runners on the corners. No runs, no hits, an error for Curry. The Gothic Knights, no runs, 5 hits, and no errors. As there will be a meeting at the circle, and the NJCU dugout will see a change here. As well, it's listed as number 7. Is that Denise?
No, that's 1. That's Ari.
Is that 1?
She actually has the right number.
Oh, so, all right, we've got a correct number. That's Ariana Moore, who started the year as a women's basketball player and was already planning on being softball. I think she was recruited for softball and also was a good women's basketball player in high school. So it was part of that squad, which won 5 more games this year than they did last year, led by Marija Bacon, who transferred to NJCU. The 1-ball count here to Rayo. And Rayo, slow roller to third. And the throw is in time by Diamond to end the inning. As NJCU threatens, they put 2 runners on the corners with a pair of 2-out hits by Bacon and Scrimo, but cannot push the run across. As we head to break, let's take a look at the replay first of the base hit. Let's do Bacon's base hit first. I think this should be it right here. As you see, Bacon slap that one down the first base side for her second hit of the season and her second of the game. And then as we look at the dugout for the Gothic Knights, this is the base hit by Ariana Scrimo that allowed NJC to put runners on first and third with 2 outs in the inning, putting it underneath the diving glove of Diamond. So we'll take a quick break, be back for the bottom of the 4th.
Football has taught me a lot throughout my life. It's definitely had a huge imprint on who I am as a person. Competing at a Division III level created that opportunity for me to go to college. Not only was I the first one in my family to graduate college, but I was really the first one to even go. Being the first one, I'm breaking that cycle, and now that I've graduated, I'm not sure what's the next step, but I know I have a lot of doors open. And a lot of those are open because I played football and ran track here at Otterbein. Football.
During the break, you saw the NCAA sponsored ad on opportunity in NCAA Division III sports. One of the great things about D3 is it's a lot easier to play more than one sport if you choose to do so. And the Gothic Knights have several members of this year's softball squad who have been standouts in other sports and are trying to replicate that here on the softball diamond for the first time this year. Christina Mezzi has done a fantastic job for the Gothic Knights thus far, and she faces the center fielder, Liana Duante. In the bottom of the 4th inning, Duante, Colleran, and Perzan, the 2, 3, and 4 hitters for the Colonels. The Commonwealth Coast Conference opponent. Be a ball and 2 strikes here. Duarte walked her first time up. That one's fouled back. Remains 1-2. Duarte has been the only base runner so far, first time through the order for the Colonels with that walk. The 1-2 by Mez. And a hitter. So Duarte has been on base 2 times. The freshman out of Taunton, Mass. On first base. And with nobody out, runner on, will bring up the catcher, Michaela Colleran. Junior out of East Bridgewater, Mass. Colleran was 1 for 3 in the first game today against Pitt Bradford. Each team had 4 hits, but Pitt Bradford won that game, scoring once in the first and twice in the second. Curry did themselves in with 6 errors in that game. Christina Mezzi deals. That's low. The runner at first is Liana Duarte. Mezzi deals to Colleran. That's fouled off. To our left and out of play. It's going to land in the grassy area between these fields. There are 4 fields, all basically in a circle surrounding this part of the complex. And we are on field number 3. Outside, and it's 3-2. There are a lot of palm trees down here, as you would imagine, but if you look past the center field fence, it is mostly evergreens, as we are just north of the Everglades here in Florida. Ground ball. Almonte's throw too high for Bacon. And on the fielder's choice, everyone is safe on the error on the throw by Almonte. First error for the Knights. Scoring at home, that is a fielder's choice to third, and then Duarte advances on a throwing error by the third baseman. And the first time Curry is threatened in this game, 2 runners on, nobody out. The number 3 hitter, Michaela Colleran, stepping in. Gothic Knights have played far better today than they have played since day 1 of this trip. This is their 6th day of a 7-day trip, playing 12 games here in the Sunshine State. Swung on and missed, as Mezzi gets her with the riser for strike 1. It's probably a great strategy by Coach Martinez, in my opinion, playing 12 games down here, because not only, number 1, do you build the camaraderie that you need to have a successful season, there's no guarantee you're going to get on the field when we get up north. Bunt is dropped down. Mezzi throws it too high for Bacon covering, and that will bring in the first run of the game. The throwing error on the sacrifice bunt. Everyone is safe. Colleran goes to third, first to third on the error, the second error of the inning, and Curry has taken a 1-0 lead. So that is a sacrifice. Does not count as a time at bat for Jordan Persin. And 2 throwing errors for the Knights here in the 4th. Still nobody out. NJCU no runs, 5 hits, 2 errors. Curry no runs, or correction, 1 run, no hits, and 1 error. So that will bring up Kiana Lloyd, who flew out in her first time up today. Lloyd hitting .348 on the season. There goes the runner from first base, so a stolen base for the Colonels. And they now have 2 runners in scoring position. Home plate umpire Dave Kruger having a conversation with one of the fans. One ball, 1 strike. Ground ball gets past Mezzi. It'll play to run, and everyone is safe on the infield single by Lloyd. First hit given up by Mezzi. Curry leads 2-0, and there are still no outs here in the 4th. Colonels are going to make a change. And there'll be a pinch runner at second base, or is it first? It'll be first base. Thought they were going to go with the lead runner. It'll be number 14, Molly Horn. She's a junior out of Buzzards Bay, Massachusetts, Upper Cape Regional Vocational School. Also plays third base and outfield for this Colonel squad. NJCU trying to stop the bleeding here in inning number 4 after no hitting the Colonels through the first 3 innings. 2 errors. This inning very well could have a different outlook right now had those throws been on target. Showing bunt. And as he called strike, she swung at and missed anyway. Lexi Buckner, the first baseman. Buckner, 4 for 23 on the year at the plate. Pops this one off, foul territory. Amber O'Donnell on the run, watches it go into the Curry bullpen. Ball, no balls and 2 strikes. Had breakfast with the girls for the first time on the trip today. The 0-2, low 1 and 2. And you could tell some of them have been out in the sun a lot. They're red and some are tanner than normal. Amber O'Donnell, who was basically beat red. And I commented on her, I was like, wow, you're really red. And then Shayla Ware makes a comment to me, well, what about me? Three and 2 is your count here. 2-0 Curry with 2 unearned runs home so far in this inning. And a 6-pitch walk. Curry loads the bases. So the bases are full. Caroline Johnson trying to break this game wide open for Curry. Colonels are 3 and 4 in the year. They lost their first game today, 3-0. Trying to bounce back and even the day for them. That is high. You're watching Gothic Vision. We are live in Naples, Florida. We are about as far south that you can go on the west coast, Gulf Coast of Florida without hitting the Everglades. That's low. The only thing really south of us of note is Marco Island. Been there one time before in 2011. And there's basically one highway that goes right across, 75 will go right across the bottom of the Everglades. I believe it goes to Fort Lauderdale. It's fouled back to the screen, 2-1. I've never taken the Highway 75 from the west coast of the state to Fort Lauderdale, but have thought about it a few times, and probably would be a beautiful drive right through the swamps of the state. The 2-1, and that's line foul. It's going to land off the facing of the Gothic Knight dugout. There you see the NJCU dugout on the third base side. The Gothic Knights were locked in a 0-0 game, but 2 errors here in the 4th. And the Gothic Knights now trying to stop the bleeding with the bases full of Colonels and nobody out. Mezzi deals the 2-2. High, 3-2. And a big pitch coming up here from Mezzi because a walk would load, or actually would keep the bases loaded, but would force in a run. 3 balls, 2 strikes. The pitch by Mezzi, again fouled off, this time towards the front of the Gothic Knight dugout, remains 3-2. Devonnie Brown from the NJCU staff also on the trip, standing off to our left. Try to get him on camera a little later. And that is lofted towards left field, going to fall in for a base hit. 2 runs will score to throw to the plate, not in time. And Curry on their second hit, their 3rd and 4th runs, they lead 4-0. So a 2-run single by Johnson. I believe one of those runs is earned. Jim Turvey is studying the inning to recreate it to see what is earned and what is unearned. And there will be a pinch runner at first base. Wait for her to turn. Can't see the back number because long hair, but it's number 3, Talia Fort, who is also the flex player in this game, the left fielder. Senior out of North Scituate, Rhode Island. So Curry has broken this game open with 4 runs, aided by 2 errors here in inning number 4. Mezzi trying to stop the bleeding and give her team a chance to try to mount a comeback when they come to bat in the 5th. Mezzi deals, chopped off of home plate. And should be a 2-strike count here to the batter, Taylor Newcomb, the Colonel's second baseman. No balls and 2 strikes with 2 runners on. Mezzi deals, low. Just off the plate by Mezzi. And it's 2-2. Lined through the left side and into left field. All the runners will advance, and once again the bases are loaded for the Colonels with nobody out. Their 3rd hit of the inning. That brings up the pitcher, Allie May. She looks at ball 1. Popped in the air, foul off behind us. And the count even at 1 ball and 1 strike. May been to the plate 1 time today. And she grounded out. Fouled off again. Screamo gives it a look, but it's off of the covering over our little perch here behind home plate and out of play. Now we have ball and 2 strikes. Mezzi has struck out 21 batters so far through her first 6 games of the season. Fouls this one off, does May to stay alive. Nobody out. First, second, 3rd all occupied, full of Colonels. They've scored 4 runs here. As he deals, popped in the air, right to Hannah Gavinet short for out number 1. So everything from here on out is unearned, of course. As NJCU notches the first out of the inning, and it's back to the top of the order. Diamond started the inning, and she's up now for the 2nd time as Curry bats around. just off the plate and high. 1-1. You all good there on the stats, Jim? That work? We had a tricky situation where the left fielder was already in the game in another position. We had to take her out as the flex and put her in as pinch runner. Fly ball, left center field, Laura Ford underneath it. Laura Ford fires home, and it won't be in time, so that will be a sacrifice fly. Then it got away from Screamo, and the runners advance. So on the error there, Ford's throw was catchable by Screamo. Couldn't catch it, however. So Screamo gets charged with an unfortunate error there, allowing the runner to advance. Ground ball back to Mezzi, off the tip of her glove, and everyone is safe. As Duarte with the base hit to drive in the run from third. Newcomb takes third base. And it's 6-3 Curry. 6-0 Curry here in the fourth, I should say. Thinking of the score in yesterday's baseball game, which was 6-3. It's 6-0 Curry now. And still 2 outs. This has been the kryptonite for the Gothic Knights all trip. One big inning. There's the throw to second, and that will be in time as Duarte is caught stealing 2-6. But a big inning here for the Colonels. In a scoreless game, they put up 6 runs on 3 hits, aided by 6 Gothic Knight errors. We head to the 5th. So Allie Mae back in the circle for Curry. And the first pitch, Hannah Gavin aboard with a base hit. So the first pitch Gavin sees here in the 5th inning, she knocks it to left field, and the Gothic Knights had the leadoff runner on. There's actually 4 errors on NJCU, not 6. 4 errors. 3 on Curry. And now we'll bring up Dulce Amante And she swings and misses at that one. That's fouled back. Let's take a look at the hit by Hannah Gavin. And she sticks it through the left side of the infield. Back to game action here. Be a ball and 2 strikes to Dulce Almonte. Monte 0 for 2 in this game. Strike 3 looking on the outside corner. Great spot by May for out number 1. Emma Herrick the batter. Herrick 1 for 2 in today's game. And that's lined, diving and knocking it down, making the flip for the force play is the shortstop Persin. So a great effort by Persin to knock it down and then regain her composure in time to flip it to the second baseman as Newcomb steps on the bag for the 6-4 force. So Herrick hit it hard, but right at Persin, who fielded her position well. 2 away on the fielder's choice, and a fly ball by Ford to left center field, coming over into the gap and making the catch is Duarte, the center fielder in left center, and the inning comes to a close as the Gothic Knights get a base hit by Hannah Gavin, but cannot score. They trail 6-0 as we head to the bottom of the 5th. Back here for the bottom of the 5th, Christina Mezzi has given up 6 runs. They are all unearned as the Gothic Knights have committed 4 errors all in the last inning when Curry scored 6 times. And we are back here for the inning where Curry will try to score 2 times, and if they do, will enforce the 8-run rule. Kayla Colleran, the catcher, at the plate. She reached on an error and later scored. Popped in the air. Shallow left center. Gavin going back and cannot make the catch as she reaches out over her shoulder. Laura Ford also came in there as that fell into no man's land. And a leadoff base hit. 4th hit for the Colonels. This is where we stand here, bottom of the 5th inning. Curry leading 6-0. Gothic Knights trying to mount a comeback, but running out of time as that's fouled off to our left. Ground ball to Gavin. Looks to Bacon for 1, and they get the force 6-4. So 1 away as Gavin to Bacon, 2 former basketball players combining. Of course, Gavin played 2 years for the Knights. Bacon played 3 years at Kane, transferred to NJCU, played her final year for NJCU, first team all-conference selection. And yesterday named 2nd team all-region. We're going to do a nice story on that later. And now a 2-sport athlete in her only year with the Gothic Knights. Now, technically, I'm not sure if Marisha is going to graduate this spring or needs next year as well. She could actually come back and play softball next year if she wanted to, as could her sister Maisha, who's on the team, not in the game at this time. Fouled off to our right. And there you see a nice play by Herrick in foul territory for out number 2. And for once, I actually flipped the camera in time to show that to you, as I'm directing and doing play-by-play here at the same time. However, for the first time on this trip, not having to do stats, because my assistant Jim Turvey is the official scorer for today's contest. The entire office here in Naples. 2 away, there'll be a pinch hitter here, as Buckner will be pinch hit for by Julia Price. Price is a 5'11 freshman out of Islip, New York. That's fouled off to our right. There you see Gina Carbonero, the former women's soccer defender, now the softball manager, helping out, walking into the dugout, shooting some video for us for our social media channels. Softball's been running the Snapchat account all trip. Swung on and missed by Price. I gave the softball and baseball teams access to Snapchat for the week. They have done team takeovers. It has been quite entertaining. The men's basketball team did the same thing on the bus trip out to Marietta, Ohio for the NCAA tournament. Getting the teams involved. Swung on and missed. Strike 3, and Christina Mezzi strikes out Julia Price to end the inning as the Gothic Knights retire the runner at first. No runs, 1 hit, and 1 left. Going to the top of the 6th here in Naples. Game 1 for the Gothic Knights of 2 today.
College has given me the flexibility to pursue my passions and my interests, and I've recreated my identity for myself aside from just being an athlete.
My greatest personal discovery has been that I am capable of doing things that I didn't know I was capable of doing.
To be able to study what I wanted to and continue to play the sport I love, all of those things came together very nicely in one package in Division III.
Back here for the 6th inning, there you see Ashley Pace, NJCU assistant athletic trainer, and Devati Brown, who oversees our community rec, both enjoying today's game in the shade. And back to game action, and it will be Christina Mezzi leading off for the Knights, trying to help her own cause as her team trails 6-0, looks at strike one. Mezzi lines that one to the gap, gonna roll all the way to the fence. Mezzi around first, on her way to second, going for the double, and she slides in safely as the Gothic Knights have the leadoff runner on. 5th hit for the Knights, first for Mezzi. And it'll be Maria Montez, the DP, stepping in, the number 6 hitter in the lineup for NJCU. May has gone 5 innings, all shutout innings, as Curry up 6-0. She's allowed 7 hits, struck out 5, and she has not walked a batter. Gothic Knight dugout cheering on Montez, who has a conversation with NJCU's first base coach, Nicole Piotti, who knows a thing or two about softball. She was the starting catcher at Rowan University that went to the College World Series her first year as an assistant coach alongside Ashley Martinez. Drop down the right field line. That's going to fall in for a base hit. Mezzi around third. She will be held up there. The throw to second, not in time. And that is a double for Montez, and the Gothic Knights have 2 on base. Third hit of the year for Montez. That's her first career extra base hit. Two doubles in the inning for the Gothic Knights. They had just 4 overall coming into play. And it's a ground ball towards short. That will score a run. And now Montez is caught between second and third. She will dive in safely at second. NJCU able to get on the board to break up the shutout as the 6-3 putout. And then Montez nearly got caught in a rundown as the throw by Buckner went to the third baseman. Actually, correction, her Price stayed in the game at first, replacing Buckner. That one slides through the left side for a base hit. Montez this time will stay at third, and that will put runners on the corners. And JCU now with 9 hits. It's more than double they had in 2 games yesterday. As Ariana Scrimo with the base hit before we could even say her name. Six to 1, Colonels on top of the Gothic Knights. 1 out here in the top of the 6th. And there will be a change here defensively. Alexandra Chase will come to the game, number 21. She's a 5'9" sophomore out of Bidford, Maine. And then Price actually is going to head to third. And Diamond will come out. So all kinds of changes here in Naples. So the umpire, Dave Kruger, informing the Gothic Knights of the defensive changes. NJCU's concerned right now, finding a way to battle back into this one. They have had more than twice as many hits as Curry, but they have 4 times as many errors. Screamo is at first, Montez at third, and Georgina Rayo at the plate. Rayo, 5'7" senior out of Jersey City's McNair Academic, one of the best high schools in the state of New Jersey. Slapper towards short, not deep enough to score a run as Price, the third baseman, quickly to it for out number 2. And Hannah Gavin, who started the inning, will try to keep it going. Gavin is 2 for 3 today. She has 91 career hits. Trying to become, I believe, the 10th Gothic Knight to reach the 100-hit club. Inside in the dirt and nicely gloved by the catcher Colleran. It did not take a friendly bounce, but Colleran did a nice job of fielding her position. Off the plate, 2-0. Gavin will go down offensively as one of the better 4-year players the Knights have ever had. And she lines this one through to third baseman for an RBI base hit. Screamo to third, and the Gothic Knights, another hit. Gavin's 3 for 4, and it's 6-2. Call it the hot corner for a reason. That ball gets on you quickly, especially in the sport of softball. And not much of a chance there for Price. Gavin is now 3 for 4 with an RBI. Slow roller to third. And it was in foul territory. Almonte with runners in the corners. The 0-1. It's a called strike. Off the plate, a ball and 2 strikes. Let's take a look at the hit here for Hannah Gavin. And that drove in the Gothic Knights' second run of the game. Montez up the middle, diving, and the throw is wide. Everyone is safe. That's a base hit for Almonte, and a nearly impossible play there by the second baseman, Newcomb, who dove to knock it down. She looks like she's shaken up a little bit, and did the only thing you can do there, which is try the underhanded flip from the ground to short to see if you can get the force. That would have been a top 10 caliber play if she was able to complete it. Gothic Knights, an RBI hit, and they've cut the deficit in half, 6-3, their 11th hit. So remains runners at first and third. We'll have a pinch runner here for Almonte. Or are they going to have a conversation? And she runs off here. I think they're just going to chat as they allow Newcomb to regain her composure, clearly shaken up after she hit the ground hard. Give her credit for a tremendous effort there, laying out and nearly making an acrobatic play as she gets, if you're off to my right, some applause from the Curry faithful on hand for this neutral site contest in Naples. Three runs, 11 hits, 4 errors for the Gothic Knights, 6, 4, and 2 for Curry. And now number 3 hitter, Emma Herrick. 1 for 3 in this game. Swung on and missed. She's also flown out and grounded out. Big at bat for the Knights. If they can stay in this game, they need to produce here. Ground ball. Newcomb is going to and beats her by a couple steps to end the inning as NJCU goes down here in the 6th. So a 4 unassisted as the second baseman took it to the bag herself. Bottom of the 6th coming up, but not before NJCU here in this frame scores 3 times on 5 hits, and they strand runners on the corners. Bottom of the 6th coming up in Naples. Back here for the bottom of the 6th inning, there is former women's soccer standout and current softball team manager, Gina Carbonero. Her sister, Nina, also works for us. She's the PA announcer for the baseball and softball games. I understand we're going to have Nina back next year. You, however, will be wandering off into the wilderness of Pennsylvania to become a potential state trooper. You realize Pennsylvania is a really big state. You're going to be doing a lot of driving. You might be chasing people into the woods to arrest them. And that's what the state troopers got to do in PA. You got a tough job ahead of you, Gina Carbonero. Are we back to the game? All right, let's go back to the game here. See, you want to do the camera, Gina? All right. That's the end of our little banter here with Carbonero number 1. As we are back here for the bottom of the 6th inning, Curry trying to close out a 6-3 game. They are the home team in this neutral site contest. Trying to add to a 6-3 lead. They scored 6 unearned runs. That is the difference in this game. They all came in the 4th inning. The Gothic Knights with 3 in the 6th. It'll be the DP, Caroline Johnson, stepping in. Swung on and missed. The 2-1. That's low. 3 balls and a strike to Johnson. It'll be Johnson, Newcomb, and May. The 7, 8, and 9 hitters due up for the Colonels. The 3-1 popped in the air, shallow left center. Ford on the run, reaches out, makes the catch for out number 1. So 1 away, and it'll bring up the second baseman, Newcomb, who's okay after hitting the ground pretty hard, trying to make a inning putout. Foul back right towards us. Nazareth will be NJC's opponent in Game 2 today. The Golden Flyers against the Gothic Knights. Mezzi deals. Fastball outside corner. Good spot. Fouled off again. Remains 0-2. Mezzi deals. Again fouled back. As a good battle here between Mezzi and Newcomb, who continues to stay alive. Newcomb family sitting right off to my right here in the bleachers. Only reason I can tell is because they're wearing number 20 Newcomb on their back. Makes it plainly obvious. And time is called here by the home plate umpire, Dave Kruger. The sophomore from Millville, Mass, facing the 0-2 pitch. That's low. The 1-2, that's high, 2-2. NJCU has battled in this game. One big inning aided by 4 errors. The difference in this one, they've hit well. Led by Hannah Gavin. Swung on it, missed, and Mezzi strikes out Newcomb for out number 2. NJCU has 11 hits. Curry has 4, but the Knights have 4 errors, and that is the difference in this game. And time is called here. Mezzi deals. Bunted. Herrick. Oh, trying to barehand it was Bacon as the throw was onto the infield side of Bacon. Could not handle it. And that's going to be a bunt single. So a runner on first base. That is the 5th hit for the Colonels. And there'll be a pinch runner here. Let's take a look at the replay on the strikeout by Mezzi of Newcomb. That was a good battle between Mezzi and Newcomb. And there you see Mezzi winning the battle. Christina Mezzi has 4 strikeouts. She is walked 2. And that's fouled off to our left. Ashley Martinez making the catch, the head coach for the Gothic Knights. That's officially been issued an error on Herrick for the bad throw behind Bacon. So it's not a hit. I take that back. That is the 5th error on the Gothic Knights, and that makes sense. That is a good call by Jim Turvey. Ground ball towards Bacon at second base. Flips to Gavin. Looks like Bacon's been doing this forever. As the 4-6 putout ends the inning. Risha Bacon, her first year playing the sport. Pretty good out there, flashing a little leather. Gothic Knights, last chance. They trail by 3. They got 3 in their last time up, and they try to see if they can complete the comeback. Last time up now, 7th inning coming up.
I learned a lot of valuable lessons playing college football. I never thought about the health benefits of exercise until I actually started to talk to coaches in college. It's not only just for performance, it's for life. My coaches instilled the importance of well-being, not only building up strength, mental health, getting enough sleep, eating properly is all what it is to be healthy. I decided that I want to go into personal trainer and share my knowledge that I obtained in college about physical and mental well-being.
Studying in college taught me to strive and be the best athlete I can be, but also the best student I can be. My coaches always made sure that the student comes first, because not everyone's going to become a professional athlete. So they make sure that we will do great in academics. I knew that would only open the door to my future, and I'm really excited to start my dream program for.
Last chance for the Knights here in the 7th. It'll be Laura Ford, Christina Mezzi, and Maria Montez, the 4, 5, and 6 hitters, due up for the Gothic Knights. Naples, Florida, your site. North Collier, field number 3, the venue we are at. As the Gothic Knights trying to win for the 2nd time on this trip in a game that they very well could be winning had they not given up 6 unearned runs in the 4th inning. 2-strike count here to Ford, the NJAC Rookie Player of the Week. The 1-2 swung on and missed, and Ford down on strikes for out number 1 on a good pitch outside by Allie Mae, forcing Ford to chase. Here comes Christina Mezzi. We lost one of our cameras. We're down to 2 cameras right now. No balls and 2 strikes. And Mezzi, ground ball over to shortstop Lloyd. Retiring Mezzi, and the Gothic Knights are down to their final out. And it'll be up to Maria Montez. And that's fouled back towards us. One ball and 1 strike. And great spot there for May. And NJCU is down to its final strike. Check swing did not go around. A check at first. Dougie Hamlin, the field umpire, confirms it. And Montez staying alive. Hey, our camera's back. Look at that. The 2-2 just high, and the count is full. Our second game was supposed to start at 3. That will obviously be delayed. Probably be about a 4. Looking, and the game is over as the Gothic Knights go in order 1-2-3 here in the 7th inning. And they lose a heartbreaker today to Curry. 6-3. The Gothic Knights had 11 hits in this one. And they scored 3 times in the 6th, but it could not overcome a 6-run 4th inning for Curry. All of the runs for the Colonels were unearned in this run. 6 runs, 4 hits, 2 errors for Curry. 3 runs, 11 hits, 5 errors for the Gothic Knights. Christina Mezzi pitched well, but was done in by 5 errors for NJCU. All the runs were unearned. 3 runs, 4 hits. Was at the plate with an RBI. Marasia Bacon, Ariana Scrimo each had a pair of hits in this one. Almonte, Bacon each with RBIs. Johnson had 2 RBIs, the DP, to lead Curry. So that's our final for game number 1. We'll be back on the air in about 20 minutes when we bring you NJCU Nazareth. Game 6, NJCU 3 here in game 1. Join us for game 2 at approximately 4:20 p.m. here on Gothic Vision. Until then, be well, everyone.